Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, it is Thursday, May 16th. Michael Cohen cross-examination was not completed today. Todd Blanche has just taken his sweet old time dragging Michael Cohen through the mud. Now, I know Cash Peters and maybe some others thought they saw something in the cross that would cause problems for the prosecution. That appears to have happened in the form of roughly a 1.5-minute phone call that took place between Michael Cohen and Trump's bodyguard, Keith Schiller. In this particular instance, Michael Cohen was having trouble with some teenager prank calling him, and he was texting this information to Keith Schiller, saying that somebody at his office didn't block the call, and Schiller said, "Call me." So Cohen called Keith Schiller, and the call log showed that this call lasted 1 minute and 36 seconds. And apparently in those 96 seconds, Michael Cohen talked with Keith Schiller about this prank call, and then also communicated with Donald Trump that he was taking care of the Stormy Daniels issue. Now, the defense is saying 1.5 minutes is not enough time to cover all those topics. That's very possible. That could very well be, or it may be wrong. It could be that 1.5 minutes is enough, because all you have to tell with Trump is, we have to take care of it, and he could say, "Yep, take care of it," and he's like, "God, I'm on it." It can take 15 seconds to be a boom, boom, boom type of conversation like that. But left-wing media is all up in arms, like, oh my God, they're acting like the case has been destroyed by this one inconsistency. You've got all the other data too. Just saying. I don't think that the jury will necessarily look at like this one item and say, oh my God, he's lying about this, he lied about everything. It's possible Michael Cohen's right. It's possible the defense is right. But this would be like the only thing, or the biggest thing, that there might be a discrepancy. So you're probably anxious about it. Let's throw some cards on it and see what we've got. We've got the Michael Cohen testimony, this cross-examination. Let's focus on this phone call. What's the energy around this phone call from the defense to Michael Cohen? Entertainment purposes only. Okay, so we start off with the 8 of Wands. This is about things happening quickly, but it's also about messages over the air. So here's your phone call and your text messages and stuff like that. Crossed with the 6 of Swords. This is moving from troubled waters to calmer shores. Now, for Donald Trump, this might be a victory. Like, hooray! We've poked a hole in his case. It could also be that, yeah, we're in some rough waters now, but the prosecution, and we got the 2 of Wands underneath. But remember, the prosecution has the ability to redirect and bring Michael Cohen back on to get some clarification, to do some damage control, basically. And I think underneath it with the 2 of Wands, that might be exactly what happens. This might be something that the prosecution knew might be a weak point in their case, or they might call him back up to the stand on a redirect and get him to answer the question more fully, what might have happened or how the conversation might have gone. So don't get panicked yet. It looks like there's more stuff coming with this than just this exchange. In the past, we've got the 9 of Coins. The whole thing with this phone call was about the payments at Stormy Daniels. That's what it is. This whole teenage pranking thing, it's kind of a red herring with it. Current situation, Sun card. Truth is being exposed. Whether it's maybe Michael Cohen maybe this call wasn't the one Michael Cohen was thinking of. Maybe Michael Cohen was correct on this one. We're going to find out the truth, or we're going to get like some version of the truth with it, or at least some understanding of what happened with this. The overarching energy is the King of Wands. Not sure if this is the judge or Michael Cohen, but there's a man who is taking action on things. It could be Michael Cohen, it could be Keith Schilling, But to me, it's a Michael Cohen thing about the actions that he was taking here. The lesson to be learned is the Eight of Cups, the emotional walking away. I don't know. He didn't back down from Keith Schiller or from Todd Blanche on this questioning, but it does call into question some of his story and the accuracy of his story. But again, more is going to be revealed, and it could be that he leaves this cross with this thing a little bit damaged here. But you always have the chance to address this. The outcome is the 10 of Coins. I don't think it's about health, not necessarily about values or wealth. What is this? I mean, if you want to look at the most negatives, it's raining positive value for Donald Trump and his family. That doesn't really resonate with me. They're talking about Stormy Daniels. To me, it's still about the payments. This conversation, you may not be able to prove what happened because you don't know what was talked about. You're taking Michael Cohen's word with it versus the cross saying other things happened. But unless Donald Trump testifies to say I didn't talk to Michael Cohen that day, it's just it's nebulous. You're not quite sure what happened on this day. What happened there? Could Michael Cohen have forgotten something? Is he telling the truth or is he lying? Is he, did both things happen? Who knows? But there's a lot of evidence in this case, and this is one piece that's called into question, not refuted, called into question. And again, with the Two of Wands underneath it, there's going to be more cross-examination, but I think there's going to be a redirect. I think the prosecution might bring Michael Cohen back up just to get clarification on that phone call or to do some damage control on that, if they think it's even necessary. Now, remember, the media sells advertising spaces. So there's an incentive for them to be hyperbolic, to make a big deal out of something that maybe there isn't that big a deal to be made of. Reporters that were in the court at the time, at least when I was hearing interviews with them at the time, they pointed out the inconsistency, but they didn't think that there was a big deal about it. Oh, and that 10 of Coins, the other thing with that outcome, again, I was talking about there's a whole lot of evidence, and I was about to tie it with this. The court reporters have noted that, Blanche has been talking with Michael Cohen for 6 hours today. The jurors were starting to check out. They weren't that interested. So even if he brings this up and he's waving his arms and talking loud and oh my God, we caught this lying liar lying. Okay, the jury might have noticed that, but they might be so disinterested and checked out that they don't care. If Todd Blanche had maybe hit him with this one early on in the cross when the jury was still paying attention with Ernest, yeah, he might have scored some more points. But after a meandering 2 days of cross-examination that seemed more focused on, who Michael Cohen insulted and when, they finally get around to something of some substance. The jury probably doesn't care at this point. I think the jury just wants to get in there and vote. Now, again, Todd Blanche said he's going to continue cross-examination on Monday, and the judge is hoping that the lawyers will have their summaries ready for Tuesday, such that go through closing arguments and get this case to the jurors on Wednesday. Apparently, there will be court next Wednesday. So the jury the defense hasn't decided they're going to call in their expert witness, but the jury could get this case as soon as Wednesday of next week, and then they have all Wednesday and Thursday and Friday to debate it if they want to get it done before Memorial Day weekend, because who wants this hanging over their Memorial Day weekend? Okay. We covered that question. The other things that were covered, it's just not that big a deal. talking about inconsistent statements with tax fraud, desire for a pardon. Oh, and that was one of the things I think Libby had pointed out about, they might do some stuff where they make a misstep. And one of the missteps was a pardon. And Michael Cohen, on the stand, Cohen admitted he explored a pardon with his lawyers because Trump dangled the idea of pardoning him, and he said he wanted this nightmare to end. He had been, he had his stuff confiscated by the FBI. He was the subject of all these investigations, things like that. And Trump saying, I'll pardon you. Well, yeah. You don't think Michael Cohen would want a pardon for that? Because his life is turned to hell because of all these investigations? As one of the reporters I was listening to while I was driving home was talking about, it's like, you humanized him. That's exactly what any reasonable person who had committed a crime and got caught and somebody's dangling a pardon, you don't think they'd want that? That's a reasonable thing. You've made him more reasonable. That was not the flex that Todd Blanche wanted. And for the most part, a lot of the stuff Todd Blanche has done is not the flex that he's wanted. The only real damaging testimony was the debate whether or not Michael Cohen could cover 2 points of significance in a 96-second phone call. That's all. Okay. We looked at the energy around this. Let's look at the jury. What's the jury thinking about this revelation about the phone call? There's some disappointment here. I think for the most part, this might have damaged his reputation a little bit with the jury. There's that Six of Swords again. But it's turbulent today, but things are going to be calming down. Now, this could be just, it could just be that they're upset that they're not done with Cross yet. That could also be because they're looking at their 3-day weekends going away. But, they have a couple more days. They might be able to get through this. I don't think, and here we go again with the Two of Wands. Things are continuing. The jury doesn't care. This Five of Cups isn't the jury like looking at Michael Cohen saying, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't know this." This is the jury going, "You motherfuckers, we got a 3-day weekend coming up, and you aren't going to be done. We want this over." This jury might deliberate a little bit faster because F you. They want their 3-day vacation. They don't want to come back from Memorial Day to have to do more of this. You're talking about humanizing Michael Cohen with a pardon. Guess what? This jury doesn't want to come back the Tuesday after Memorial Day. They do not. So I don't know if Todd Blanche is factoring that into his cross, and they might start really getting to hate Todd Blanche if he keeps doing this and threatens their weekend. Oh, in the past, look at the jury. The jury's looking at all the information that's been presented. Michael Cohen has been good at connecting the dots and showing that the money's been paid. The jury gets it. The jury gets what's happened here and what was done and why it was done. They absolutely get it. Current situations, the Ace of Wands, they're done. They if you're not going to pull up some defense witnesses or experts, they're done. They're ready to go. They want this case. They want to decide on it. Overarching energy, and they're not getting what they wanted because Todd Blanche keeps feeling the need to drag Michael Cohen over the coals. Whatever points Todd Blanche is making, the jury would certainly consider that in their decision. But as you extend this another day, they're getting annoyed. I'm telling you, they're annoyed with him. Lesson to be learned is the magician. They've made up their mind. They've seen the evidence. They know what happened. They want this case. They want to decide on it. It goes right with the Ace of Wands here. That same wand in his hand. Give us the damn case, and the outcome is the same. They've seen the evidence. Look at the cards that came up the same in the same position. These two right here. They have seen the evidence. They get the story. They have a real strong idea of what happened. They're ready to go. They're ready to go to the next step. And they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting. And I tell you this, the more Todd Blanche with these people, the quicker they're going to deliberate, and that is not good for the defense. They're going to get angry and pissed, and they're not going to want to go through the evidence with that fine-tooth comb and really give a thoughtful contemplation of A or B. It's going to be like, you know what? We're dilly-dallying here, and I don't want to dilly-dally. We all agree on this one. Let's move on to the next thing. It's kind of like you're sitting in a traffic jam, and you know that there might be some people that are hurt up front, and you're so angry about being stuck in this traffic jam and frustrated that you just want them to bulldoze the cars and the bodies into the water. Like I commute over a bridge, and people mess up all the time, and Michelle and I both get grumpy with it. Just bulldoze them off the bridge. Let's go. And you're just angry and you're venting, and we're not like misogynistic people or misanthropic people, excuse me, with something like that. But it's just like, can we just get this going? I just want to get where I'm supposed to be going, and I didn't plan nor desire to sit on a bridge for an hour. It happens. Again, other people's free will impacting you in a negative way. Nobody really appreciates other people's free will decisions screwing up your free will choices. Just saying. Okay. Anything else? Will there be anything else that comes out of Cross on Monday of next week? Because there's no court tomorrow. Remember, Donald Trump's going to his son's graduation. Libby had thrown a great reading on this one, and she was like, I don't believe this, but I don't believe I'm going to tell you this, but it's something to the tune of like, it's almost like he's got a motorcade. He drops Barron off, and then he gets out and does a press conference at Barron's graduation. Again, kind of making it all about him and this fake case and everything along those lines. So, that kind of resonated with me because I could just totally picture it. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. We'll find out. It's not that long to find out. Some people who criticized me or one person criticized me. She's blocked now, by the way. Yeah, you're welcome. How dare you judge Trump for what a parent might do at their kid's graduation? You know what? I haven't judged Trump at all for it. I'm telling you what I'm predicting. It's all about him. The guy's a 77-year-old baby. He's never had to do anything he's never wanted to do his entire life except being shipped off to military school. That's it. That's the only thing he's ever had to do that he didn't want to do. He doesn't want to go to his son's graduation. Flat out, 100% final answer. He might go because he basically talked himself into a corner where he has to do it. And how do you think the judge is going to act when he gives him a Friday off because he says he needs to go to his son's graduation, and if he doesn't show up, the judge is going to be pissed. So yeah, he's going to be there. Don't expect he'll be there for the full time. That's not his jam. I would fall over if he was. Okay. Anyways, back to, go ahead and respond. It won't matter. You've been blocked. You can type it. Nobody will see your comment. You'll be yelling in the wind. It's one of the benefits of YouTube. I can do that. So, sorry. And it wasn't like a one-time comment. This has been an ongoing thing for a week or two. Just chiding me on things. You ran out of chances. I don't do that with everyone. I give lots of people lots of chances. But you know what? After a while, who needs you? Don't need to see that negativity on my channel. All right. Anything else that might come out of the cross? King of Wands. I think I'm going to make this Michael Cohen. So here's Michael Cohen again, sitting under the cross examination. No, they're just going to bring up more crazy stuff. Maybe crazy stuff he said, crazy stuff that they want to attribute to him. Good Lord. I shuffle these cards. There are overhand shuffles and everything. Again, it's just the continuing of cross-examination. The jury wants this case. They're tired of the shenanigans. They are absolutely tired of this. Okay. All right. Here we go. Monday. They've had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to figure out where they're going to go next with the cross-examination. They're going to try and hit him with a gotcha moment. They just like this one phone call, they're going to try and either capture some magic or perform an illusion, one of the two, in this. With the Hierophant. With the courts. Interesting. The first thing that comes to mind is Trump with his gag order. But let's see. They got the Magician and the Hierophant here. A couple major arcana. I'm not sure what this is. Let's see it. Maybe this is the Trump is a tightwad. I think the Trump is a tightwad reading last night because somebody on CNN said that was going to be one of their defenses. They might finally come up with the Trump is a tightwad defense. That might be the other big, gotcha moment that flex isn't what it is. And this is holding on to money tightly. Trump's a tightwad. Why would he pay you twice as much than he had to? He's a tightwad. But it's like, again, Cohen had to pay taxes. God bless him. The man pays his taxes. He may be crooked and a bully and a jerk when working for Trump, but at least he paid his taxes. He's doing better than a lot of the folks in Trump's circle, including Trump himself. Outcome is the King of Pentacles. There's nothing else here. King of Pentacles, I think the defense rests. Trump is now satisfied that they've got their pound of flesh from Michael Cohen and they're ready to move on from there. So I think Monday is going to be the last day of cross for Michael Cohen. The defense is gearing up for the Trump is a tightwad defense. It's not going to fly because Michael Cohen can just counter and say, yeah, well, I had to pay my taxes. And that's the way it was. And he agreed to it. And I still think the defense of, this was so incredibly important to Trump that he was willing to pay twice as much because of trying to maintain this cover-up. It made for a better cover-up. That's for sure. And if, Michael Cohen didn't flip and share all this information, we really wouldn't have a whole lot to go on here. We'd have a bunch of business records, but nothing connecting it with Trump and then the campaign. And Michael Cohen has filled in those gaps. That's why he's a star witness, and that's why they're going after him, because they're trying to break that connection between all these payments to Stormy Daniels and the intention, which was to impact the 2016 election. That's why they're going after him hard. They've scored a couple of body blows, but that in itself does not make the case. And worse, Todd Blanche, because he's going to take basically 2 full days, a half day on Wednesday, a full day on Thursday, and probably a half a day on Monday of next week, the jury's going to be so done. They are going to be so done with the defense on that one. I don't know if the thing I was going to throw out there, and I've forgotten what it is. I'll probably remember afterwards. But this is not... Don't panic. Don't worry. Don't fret. We're going to get through this. Everything's going to be fine. That's the whole point of cross-examination, is to undermine the credibility of the defendant. But remember, everything that Michael Cohen is testifying about is backed up by documentation. The only things that aren't backed up by documentation are the conversations he had with Trump, like this thing they hit here. And the only person who could refute it is Donald Trump. And it would be legal malpractice to let Donald Trump testify in this case. That would be a horrific mistake. Now, normally I would send this video up tonight at midnight with my normal videos. I'm going to load this up now so it goes up around 6 o'clock or 5:30 or so, simply because I think people are going to be anxious about this, and I want to tamp that down now rather than make you suffer for another 7 hours because it's convenient for me to always start my videos at midnight. It's a gift from me to you. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. Christmas in May. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your likes, your shares, your comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so this video makes it out to a wider audience. If you liked this video, come check out Twin Tarot with Gary and David. It's my other channel, my other channel. I also have Tarot of the Seven Seas for international readings. My apologies for my Seven Seas fans. I haven't done any readings this week because I've been so busy and I've been wiped out. I haven't had the time. I will get back to them. It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow night, but it will be restarted. It's just been crazy busy this week. Lots of stuff going on in my personal life. One last thing, and I'll lead off the next video with it too. For all the folks that have come over from Linda G, I really do appreciate it. For folks new to the channel, I don't do personal readings. I work full time, and I do this gig after work. Plus, looking at all the comments and hearting them and responding to a few of them, it just takes up a lot of time. I just don't have the time to do personal readings at this moment. Maybe one day it'll happen. Probably not, but maybe one day it'll happen. If it does, I'll make announcements on it. It'll be on the Facebook page. It'll be on the About Me part of it. You'll know about it. You'll know when it happens, okay? Anyways, thank you again for everything you've done to support me. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.